Hey there. We spend a lot of our lives thinking about wealth, how to get it, how to keep it, but today we're going to crack open an ancient guide called the Khuddakapāṭha to explore a totally different kind of treasure. Think of it as a roadmap, not to buried gold, but to something way more valuable that we can build right inside ourselves. So let's dive in. So let's just start with this one big question, because it really frames everything we're about to talk about. What if the greatest treasures aren't something you just stumble upon, but something you actually have to build, piece by piece, day by day? This ancient guide says that true, lasting wealth, well, it's an inside job, and it gives us the blueprint. All right, so every great journey starts with the first step, right? Well, in this guide, that first step isn't about packing a bag or buying a ticket. It's about making a really conscious commitment. It's called taking refuge, which is a cool way of saying you're choosing a clear direction and a reliable support system for the path ahead. What's so amazing is how these three refuges create this complete support system. First, you go for refuge to the Buddha. That's the ideal, the goal of becoming perfectly wise and compassionate. Then you've got the Dhamma, which is the truth itself, the teachings, the map of how things really work. And finally, the Sangha. That's your community, the people on the path with you who have your back. It's this powerful commitment to clarity, truth, and community all at once. And this isn't some one-and-done thing. In the original text, you actually say this 3 times in a row. Now, why would you do that? Well, it's all about reinforcing your own intention. It's like you're telling yourself, okay, I'm really doing this. Then again, yep, still committed. And a third time, this is my path. It's all about making that decision totally solid in your own mind. So now that you've set your destination, you kind of need some rules of the road to make sure you stay on track, right? This next part is all about those ethical guidelines that stop you from, veering off a cliff or causing a pileup on your journey.
And here's a super important word, sikkhapada. Now, this does not mean a rigid commandment that's forced on you. A better translation is a rule of training, something you choose to take on. Think about it like a guitarist practicing scales. They don't do it because someone is making them. They do it because that's the training that makes them a better, more skillful musician. These are the exercises for living a more skillful life.
And what's really cool is the positive spin on all of this. It's not just about what you're giving up, it's about what you're actively cultivating. So when you practice Panasappata Veramani and abstain from harming, what you're really doing is cultivating compassion. When you practice Musavara Veramani and avoid lies, you're building a foundation of honesty and trust. Every single one is a chance to build up something amazing, like respect, clarity, or kindness. Okay, so we've got our direction, we've got our guidelines. Now the journey takes a turn. We shift from just avoiding potholes to actively looking for the scenic route. This brings us to the idea of mangala, which we can translate as blessings or good fortune. But what this text considers a blessing, well, it might just surprise you. Just look at this comparison. On one side, you have worldly fortune, luck, money, stuff, the things we usually chase. But the Mangala Sutta points to something totally different. It says the highest blessings are things you do. Things like choosing your friends wisely, taking care of your family, being generous, feeling grateful, and actually listening to wisdom. These aren't things that just happen to you. They're choices you make. And this quote just hits it right on the head. It says the very first, the highest, the most important blessing is this: don't hang out with fools, hang out with wise people. I mean, think about that. This ancient wisdom is basically saying that the company you keep is one of the most powerful things you can control for your own happiness. And that brings us to the grand finale of our journey, the destination itself. After we've set our course, followed the rules of the road, and cultivated all these real blessings, what's the ultimate treasure we find? It's something this guide calls an unshakable mind, a treasure that you can never ever lose. The guide, the Nidakanda Sutta, starts by talking about the treasure we all know: money, property, status. But it makes a very sharp point. That stuff is fragile. It's vulnerable. A king can take it, a thief can steal it. Heck, time itself will eventually wear it all away. It's just not secure. But then it reveals this second kind of treasure. This is the treasure built from your own good actions, your generosity, your integrity, your wisdom. This treasure is hidden deep inside you where no one can touch it. It can't be stolen. It can't be seized. It is 100% yours forever. And this line is everything. It says that when the time comes to leave all the other stuff behind, and let's be real, that time comes for everyone. This inner treasure of your good character is the one thing you actually get to take with you. It follows you. Now that is the definition of real wealth. And what's so beautiful is how this brings us right back to where we started. Remember taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha? Well, it turns out that another text, the Ratana Sutta, calls these three things the supreme jewels, the most precious treasures there are. The path and the destination are the same thing. The very things you rely on for the journey are the treasure you're looking for. So as we wrap this up, this ancient wisdom leaves us with a very real, very personal question for right now. Think about it. Every action you take, every word you say, it's like putting a coin in one of two vaults. There's the temporary vaults of worldly stuff, and then there's the permanent vault of your inner character. So the question for you, for me, for all of us is, which treasure are you building today?